Soundmaker.
It all started in the Bible, Deuteronomy 28. King James Version, you can check it. We from Israelite. Oh yeah, and it shall come to pass. African slavery was made legal in the Spanish Caribbean in 1501. Slaving our mothers, our fathers, and some lost their lives. Many heroes died during the process. Puerto Ricans are part of Africans. They're trying to tear us apart, brainwash us, but we still Africans. Black is beautiful. Black is original. Black is beautiful.
Yeah, we on the same page, y'all.
Black is beautiful. It's beautiful. Black is original.
For what? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Is that what app? Yeah. What they trying to do? Get it together? Bro, hold on. I ain't doing all that. Give me the phone. Let me shoot him a text real quick. Trying to hit you, bro. Got me working out here. Who this? I got you. All right. Calling you. You back. Peace. It's going to voicemail. Understood. It's not up. Y'all hold on a second. Yeah. One more again. Let's try it one more time.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voice.
I'm only gonna try to call this bruh back one more time, y'all. And if he don't pick up the phone, I'm gonna say I called. Y'all called me to do this, and then y'all don't want to answer the phone. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try it one more time. Y'all see what's happening, right? Not in the mood for no games. I'm gonna try it one more time. Brother don't pick up. It's not looking good for him. Let's go. One more time. Not looking good, Kentucky.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
That's it. I'm done. I want y'all to witness that. They just called me and told me they want to set this up, and then I called them back. This the kind of shit this what I'm talking about. Y'all see what's happening? Then when we called them back and called them on what they asked, everybody get missing. We don't get down like that. If they
pain is the weapon that they fear. They see us as a competitor, but the long run with the Hebrews from Israelite. They're trying to paint it black and red. They're trying to make us lose our way. But we the God-chosen people, we gon' make it, we gon' bring it back home. Africa, we gon' get the throne back. Oh yeah, it's a working process. We black and we beautiful. We strong, we not gonna stop. Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. Black is original. Yeah. Black is beautiful. Hey, yeah. Black is beautiful. Beautiful, intelligent. Black is original. Black is beautiful. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm black and I'm proud of who I am. I'm black doesn't mean I'm daft. Blacks are intelligent, hardworking and diligent. Oh, yeah. Put all the colors in this world together. All that we give you is black. And I'm proud to say I'm black. I'm proud of who I am. They try to isolate us, but we find. They push us to the world, but we still here. Trying to abuse us, we getting stronger. Blacks are exceptional. Black is beautiful. Black is original. I'm so real. Black is beautiful. Yeah. Black is beautiful. I'm proud I'm black. Black is original. Black is beautiful. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Don't forget where you're from. If you're black all around the world,
Puerto Rico.
you're black. Your skin is worth more than gold. Diamonds.
Yeah. It's Clarion. Tiny Macado.
Period. And y'all already know the half. It's me, your girl, to talk with Tiny. How y'all doing? So apparently, I got to do a little bit of recording. I recorded one, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy about that because that was a good interview. And there's nothing like catching it, from scratch. Period. Period. It's that like a watchman on the wall. I'm telling you, right? I don't miss nothing. You feel me? Nothing that's not worth missing. I do not miss it. And if you know when something is for you, when it falls on your lap and you just start watching something, you just in the right place at the right time. So, and I'm glad that I did because this was like it just disappeared. Just watching them, play the little giant game, and play with people's rights, and just even to precondition it in your mind, some kind of type of way, like your new war, is super giant, tech, you know what I mean? So the fact that that they control data, like I said, data is the new oil. It's such a time right now, and people, you know, everything, they want everything to be digital, crypto, you know, forming a new, it's funny when they say, well, we in the new, we heading towards a new world order. Obviously, you know, they've been calling us the new world. You know what I'm saying? Wherever the fuck they came from, they've been calling us the new world. Because for them, it was new. But to our indigenous, it's a birthright. It's a royal bloodline. And when we can understand that, then we begin to form our minds different when we sit down and we hear these kind of types of conversations that are taking place, by the way, all around the entire globe. And just to see one person have a connection, you know, and make such an impact besides George, you know, Floyd, you know, with a knee in his neck, you know, but just to something, it's like a magnet, you know. I call him the magnet. I call him the magnet because as he comes through, woo, he collects all the lost sheep, you know, and it's funny. And I can't help but to, you know, just, you know, take it for what it is, you know, when it comes to prophecy. And it's funny how white people can actually say, well, you know, he is very, very charismatic and so forth. And everything that, you know, he can, you know, identify himself as being, you know, once upon a time in a situation, you know, as all of us, we all have episodes with these freaking weirdos, you know, from a different planet that just invaded us one day, you know, and stood here and had the nerve to stay, you know, and take over and just like, you know, it's nothing for them to come and just shove something in your arm or in your nose and stab you in your brain. I'm telling you. They said what? For how much money? Trust me, your enemy is super evil. It's genetic. And I have to always emphasize that. Because in such a time, nothing has changed. But there is a new wave change. There is a change. A shift to a whole nother level. As where people becoming awakened. So shout out to, you know, the frequency. I'm going to call you the frequency babies. The mechanism babies. The Bantu babies. The XX gene Y chromosome babies. With the space traders Bantu genes that they fear the most. As we all know, we are definitely reincarnated through the blood, whether we know it or not. We are somebody's great-great-great-grandchild, whether you like it or not. It is what it is. So, as we get into this video, I know I'm so glad she gave us permission, so I'm so all for it. And I was just there in the right place at the right time, and I'm so happy that I've done so. So without further ado, let me go ahead and let's get it right here.
Freezing the frame because it's burning them. But I say, like they say, let them rage so men will know them mad. Let them sit there and burn. Look, the longer y'all drag this out, the longer it's gonna take, because me and my sister ain't gonna quit. But just because y'all don't want to hear me talk, I'm gonna get the floor back to you. So they won't cut. They don't cut you off. They cut me off.
No.
As soon as I open my mouth, they cut me off. You know?
It's totally fine, because, you know, listen, I got to switch over here too, baby, because I'm bringing it right back, and it's okay. So, all right, so we got through that. Now, growing up, because, you know, people don't know these, and I want people to know a little bit more about you. So, in growing up, did you ever think that you'd be a part of something great like you are today?
First of all, I'm not a part of anything great at all. This is going to probably shock people, but to me, I don't see what you all see. I'm doing what I've always been doing. I didn't change. The world did. 2020 came in and flipped the script on everybody. 2020 came in and focused everybody. 2020 took your toys away. took your football team away, took your job away, took your freedom away, took the problems you had with another country away, took the mass shooters away, took away everything and put your ass on house arrest. Everybody in the house, nobody going no goddamn well. Everything stopped. I call it, before the quarantine, it was all good. When we went into the quarantine, the only thing we cared about was, as long as the person next to you didn't do this, you was all right. Because if they did, you'd be like, no, this nigga didn't. Okay? Don't act like I was the only one. If there was anybody in your house, that's all you cared about. If they was down the hall coughing, you were like, what's going on up in here? Y'all running around cute with these little masks on. Y'all running around cute with these little masks on, but when this shit first broke out, cats had on the whole, even me, I ain't lying, I look like I was an outbreak. I went to the airport one time, I had the whole mask on, I had the hat on, I had on the gown, and the TSA guy said, you coming in here? I said, yes, I'm getting on the plane just like this. And when I got on the plane, everybody was like, the fuck does he know? I know what's coming.
Exactly. Right.
So I don't see it any different. The world changed. Let me be honest with all your viewers. When we came out of the quarantine, the only thing we thought we had to worry about was the disease and getting a job. That's it.
Right.
Had nobody seen nobody. Everybody, side pieces done broke up. A lot of people have found out the people they live with ain't the people they know no more. You found out your kids was bad as shit. You found out that you ain't really got no friends. We learned all this on quarantine. Some people finished their online courses and got degrees and shit. A lot of things happen on quarantine. So when we came out, we thought that all we was going to be dealing with was life. But oh no, 2020 had something in store for us.
Exactly. Because
2020 lets you know something that when you get to be my age, you learn something that every 10 years, things do change. The roaring 20s, the civil rights of the 60s, the crack era of the 80s, all of them actually ended when the clock rolled around. When we left the 20 teens, 19, 18, 19, 2020 is a whole new decade. Right. We living in a whole new world. Guess what? We watch this. 2.0 civil rights 2.0. Y'all gonna do it again. Y'all gonna take this class again because you obviously forgot and you done lost all of the shit that you gained. So what do we find out? Ahmaud Arbery happened. And we were like, oh, hell no. Okay. Then George Floyd happened. We were like, oh, hell no. And then Breonna Taylor happened. And then they started lynching people. See, all of this stuff starts happening, and we realize we went from a pandemic to a civil rights movement just like that.
That's like, yep.
Okay, now,
exactly.
I'm going to say this to you people. All y'all people who always say I could have never been a slave, and all y'all that sit around, well, I was living in the 60s, they sent the water hose and the dogs on me, just what you know what you would have done? You would have done just what you're doing right now. Because it's happening right now.
Exactly.
So those of us who would have got out and whipped somebody's ass or shot somebody or set somebody on fire or drove somebody off a cliff, we're the people that are doing it right now because we would have done it then. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. This is a secret. Don't let this out. We family, y'all, so don't everybody just listen. I was one of those kids that grew up and I used to read about these cats. I'm like, damn, I was born too late. Because I want to get out there and whip somebody's ass.
Yes!
Guess what? I told y'all there's nothing new under the sun. Everything comes back around, okay? And like my grandmother said, baby, just keep on living. It'll come back, and I'll be goddamn if it didn't come back. And this time, I'm like, well, what have we here? Okay, y'all laughing, but this is really what happened. Yep. Because me and my boys sat around, and we were sitting there like, don't this shit remind y'all of 1966? Mm-hmm. Here's the difference. And I'm going to teach a little bit right here. Most people will say that, well, that was back during Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Huey and Stokely and Angela and all those people, right? Like, yeah, it was. But remember, y'all, white people will always tell you, you should be like Martin Luther King. He was nonviolent. No, he wasn't. Martin Luther King said that we couldn't win. We were outnumbered. We didn't have enough guns. We weren't even human beings yet. They hadn't passed the Civil Rights Act. The laws were against us. It would have been a slaughter. He wasn't nonviolent. He was smart enough not to start a war that he couldn't win. 5 years later, in 1968, he gave an interview to NBC where he said, I feel that my dream has turned into a nightmare and that we have integrated into a burning house. And then they killed him for that because he woke up. So when all of that was going on, it was a whole different era. Watch this. This 2020. There's a couple things that's different. We strapped up, shorty.
I know.
Okay? We don't have a gun. We don't have guns. I got a goddamn gun room. I can go in the room and go, now what can I pull out today to shut shit down? That's the difference we didn't have back then. We didn't have, y'all, come on, don't lie. It's a lot of cats out there talking about, I don't think I can get a gun. You got a gun. We got more guns in the black community than people even want to admit. So y'all stop sitting around talking about gun control when you saw what happened you saw what happened in Stone Mountain. Gun control is not working at all. Okay, because everybody has something. You even had some of it. There were sisters that I know that I didn't know they would roll like that. I was like, damn, I raised my voice at her and everything. Okay, homegirl got the laser gun. She got the ray gun, 2, 3 of them. So we know now we're better equipped. Right. We know now we're more wealthier than we were back then. We know now we're smarter because of what we've been allowed to develop on our own than back then. And most importantly, y'all let us serve in your military. Y'all taught us everything. Y'all taught us some things that you never thought that we would use against you, because in your mind, we're still property. In your mind, we're still $3.5 billion worth of property that walked off the damn plantation, and they want to get it back because the 13th Amendment to the Constitution says, and I quote, "Lest no man be a slave, lest he be a criminal." So once they put you in the system, technically you a slave again, because they can't get the money off of you no more. So they're just gonna put you out the game. But in this particular instance, you got guys like myself that are, see, we're not Ray, Nuck, and Pookie and them out there on the corner. We the ones that own the homes. We the ones with the good corporate jobs. We're the legal gun owners. We're those guys. You piss us off, you get to what we call level 4. Let me break it down for y'all. Level 1 is when some shit happened, y'all get out in the street and start throwing shit and burning shit up. That's level 1. They used to that. Level 2 is all y'all who then want to get out and loot shit. That's the looters. Y'all want to loot, y'all, because y'all, it ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. You got quarantine poverty. You and your stimulus check gone. The people down the street acting up good. I'm gonna get this flat screen and a whole box of Pampers while I'm at it, and somebody go down there and get me some noun laters. And don't forget, okay, you get some shit. Right. But the level that they didn't see is what comes behind that. That's not the end of it. You push it far enough, there is an organized response of those of us that are still the core of the black community. Right. That's what's left over. And we will fight back. And we're not going to be in the streets throwing nothing. We're going to do what you showed us how to do. And there's enough of us. Here's the problem, and I'm going to shut up. Yes, there are multiple white militias, but they all got different issues. Got 5 over here that don't like to be locked up, so they acting up. You got 10 over here that they don't like the color purple, so they acting up. You got a few back here that they parted the flag that's flying because they couldn't keep us slaves. But all of us got the same problem and the same enemy. So that's why there's only 2, 3, 10, 40, 50 of y'all and over 35,000 of us.
All around the world.
Well, you know what? The all around the world part, believe it or not, came after we did Stone Mountain. A lot of folks, and white media is not going to touch that story, because if they do, 2 things are going to happen. It's going to empower people everywhere. If they gave it the props, plus it cuts to the heart, which is what we wanted to do. It cut to the heart of the engine of racism. See, all this stuff that we've been talking about, racism, unfair housing, all this stuff, the judicial system, they stem, those are arms, and they all come from that same section of white folks that go all the way back. It only been 150 years since you've been off the plantation. You've only been a person for 56 years. Where you think all the Klan robes went? I've been to this National Guard. I've been to I've been to the Salvation Army. I've been to the strip store. I can't find no Klan robes nowhere, because they're in their closet. They trade them in for police uniforms. They trade them in for working at the bank. They trade them in for those people that's always on the goddamn phone. That's who's delivering their food now. They didn't go no goddamn where. They're still here. So for us in 2020 to strap up and get organized and do it in the confines of the law, right, and then go to the heart of the KKK, y'all cut that shit short. They threatened us. They said they were going to shoot black people on the 4th of July, and we came out to get shot, and nobody showed up. Now, I'm not going to say they didn't show up. What y'all didn't see was the police at first were trying to be assholes because they thought it was just a few of us, but we kept coming. Then they tried to figure out who we was, and that didn't work, and we kept coming. Then when we started really getting big, the chief came out, and he saw it, and he was like, oh shit. He went and got all the police together, because they only had 19 of them, and that was the whole town. They called in the Georgia State Patrol, the GBI, they had feds out there, and it still wasn't enough.
Woo!
So they made a decision. They did. They came on over, put on that fake white smile, came their ass over there and told me, where y'all boys trying to go? Just like that. And we going to the motherfucking mountain. We'll lead the way for you. That's not what they did. What they did was they got in front of us to get the white people out of there. Because when we pulled up, they was picnicking and singing and shit, and they didn't know what all this was. They were like, what in the fuck is this? And they seen all these guns. I never seen white people pack shit up so fast. Get that shit, Lisa, grab this man, get the cooler, let's go. Hook that shit up, let's go. Right? They gave the white people a chance to get out, right? And as we were going in, that's where y'all see that exchange with me and them, because they were leaving, and they were looking at us all fucked up, because they saw what was going on, and I'm just not built like that no more. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm out of gas. Y'all gotta excuse your bruh. I done seen too much, I done been through too much, and the last thing you gonna do is piss in my face and laugh about it. And he was not gonna get away with that shit. So I rolled up on my man. You know, I got my team with me. But you should, you know, when white people get caught, it's funny as shit when they get that I know I don't fucked up look.
Right.
Y'all didn't see that. When he gave me the I don't fucked up look, that's when I said, man, go ahead with that bullshit before you get killed out here. I said it just like that and walked away. Because you running your mouth to a bunch of people out here that'll kill you. Okay? And he didn't like it. They cleared the park and then they closed it. They don't tell y'all that. They closed it. So no one could get in. There's one young man that told me, he said, I tried to come to the park and the police had the gates closed. And I'm like, can I go in the park? They like, no. He's like, well, why not? You don't want to go in there right now, brother. He's like, well, I come here every year. You won't be coming in there this year. Just hang out right here. Well, what's going on? Who's in there? You don't need to know none of that. Take your ass there. They closed the park. Okay.
Wow.
Now that's how deep it was, because that's why we was like, where everybody at? We the only motherfuckers in here.
Right. You like, yes.
We're right. So we thinking, where y'all at? Because there was a gang of people in here when we got here. Because when we came up to the mountain, they were looking at us, and the police was like, let's back fuck up, back up. You know what I'm saying? Keep moving. This shit right here ain't what you want.
Crazy.
Because they had never seen black people like that before.
And when they
never saw black people on one accord. They never saw black people united. They never saw black people focused. Right. They never saw black people, watch this, that wasn't making no noise. They weren't singing, we shall overcome. They wasn't saying no justice, no peace. They wasn't saying shut shit down. They weren't saying nothing. All they was looking like was that they were gonna bust you in your ass. And then when we started talking, if you notice, there was no police anywhere. The police was way the fuck down there looking like, yeah, them niggas is down there. Yeah, we're not. And it was too much for them.
Wow.
It was too much. And so they know when they saw that sent ripples across white America. So white America is not going to talk about that because that's their worst nightmare. It was J. Edgar Hoover who said that his worst nightmare is black unity. Once we get together. Now, let me explain that, because people don't understand. Well, we always been unified. This is what they were talking about. See, they understand what y'all are just catching on to. He said, we must stop. We must prevent the rise of a black, watch this, male, charismatic individual that could energize the black nationalist movement. In other words, not just do what he do, but get everybody fired up. Got even the kids talking about, I'm gonna bust somebody in their ass tomorrow. Be like, come on, you ain't but 8, okay? That type shit. They don't want that because they know how we are. Look how we do. We take a fashion and everybody run with it. We'll take a new dance and everybody will run with it. We'll take a saying. That's how the term Black Lives Matter got born, because we take a saying and we run with it, okay? They know if we take unity and it looks good and it feel good, that we gonna run with it. That's why they kissing y'all ass now. That's why they taking down the statues and shit now. That's why they want to hug on you. That's why you got all these commercials on TV talking about we're gonna give money to blah blah blah. That's bullshit, because if that was true, they wouldn't have fired Nick Cannon. You see, they trying to get you to calm the fuck down and go along with the program, but the truth of the matter is they don't want to lose your money. They don't want us to leave this motherfucker. They don't want us to start doing for ourselves. They want to keep us in a position where we are consumers when we used to be producers. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, Rashida, we used to be free producers. See, the American dream is not for you black folks. It never was. You was the dream. Free land, free labor, free money. You ain't got to do shit but sit on your ass all day. And then on top of that, you can rape the women and the men if you want to. And if you kill one, it ain't no big deal. Who could ask for a better deal? That was the American dream. You can't be the American dream because you were the part date. The dream was built on you.
Right.
So because of that, we in a season now where they really want to take it back that way. And because they can't, they see us trying to get ourselves together. Now, I know some people in your feed that want to take razor blades and split people. But let me tell you what we don't do. We don't even do this in the NFAC, and I don't do it. You're black, period. Last time I checked, when they was putting people out on the field, they didn't stop and ask you what type of black you was. They didn't ask you if you was, here we go again, here we go again. Hold on, I'm gonna come right back.
Do it. Hold on, y'all. Bringing him back. Bringing him back. Always gonna bring brother back. Okay.
Let's pick up right where I left off. First of all, let me before I continue, let's go ahead and shout out Representative John Lewis, who died at the age of 80. He was one of the premier civil rights activists from the period in the 60s.
Yes.
I think we should all pay homage to that brother. He was an icon of civil rights, and he passed away. He lived a long life, and I wanted to lift him up real quick on your broadcast for y'all who hadn't heard that man was very, very influential in what he did. And if you don't know, I always tell people, go do your research. This man is one of the most influential. He was the son of a sharecropper. That means if you don't know what a sharecropper is, go back and do your research. He survived 2 brutal beatings by the police, and he's also was the one that during a landmark 1965 march in Selma, he was the towering figure of the civil rights movement. So we want to go ahead and lift him up. And he died after a 6-month battle with cancer. He was 80 years old. So he's also a U.S. Congress icon. We lost a great black man. I wanted to say that before I continue.
Yes.
But let me finish this piece. When I say you're black, and I know some people are going to be like, well, what does he mean by that? This is something that people don't understand. The reason that they call you black or African American or whatever you want to call yourself is the main reason you can't get reparations. You cannot pay reparations to a color. Reparations are paid to a country, okay? You cannot do restitution to a color. You do restitution to a country. Okay, so everyone who's getting reparations, whether it be the Jews because of Germany, but the Japanese for what they did to them by the internment from what happened in Japan, anyone who gets reparations, even the Native Americans, it's because they've established the Cherokee Nation. Our problem is we have not filed the papers to declare ourselves an independent nation within the United States, which makes all of us political prisoners. Once we do that, we can then go to the World Court and petition them for some type of relief. We can go to the United States and say you owe us reparations to the United Black Nation. I don't know what the hell y'all would call it, but we'll come up with something. We might call it the Pressing Curl Nation. I wouldn't care, but we need a name. We need a flag so we can get this loot. We can't get the loot like, okay, don't get me wrong. Yes, I read the little open letter that they wrote to the folks, Lloyds of London, but that's just an open letter. If you are a country, you can declare damages have been done to you for the slave trade and that we need to get our loot. But y'all haven't done that yet. But don't worry, that's one of the missions of the NFAC. We're not just here carrying guns. We have another program that we're running. We have adopted the 10-point program of the Black Panthers that was supposed to help us rebuild our own communities and so forth. We've also adopted, if you ever read The Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, we have adopted the master plan. If you read that book, he tells you how to build a black nation using every melanated person on this planet. And for all of y'all that's sitting there telling me, I ain't going nowhere, I'm gonna stay right here. This is how he fought for it. This ship is sinking. It's infested. We are outnumbered. The rats, is too many rats. This is what you do. We get our shit together. We go somewhere where we are more numerous. We build up our own nation. I ain't saying moving to nobody else's house. We build up our own nation. We established our own currency. We built up our own military. We built up our own school system. We built up our own family structure. We practice our own belief system. And then we come back over here and say, hey, yo, bruh, you know that $14 trillion you owe us for reparations? You delinquent. I need to get those ends. That's how you come back. And any land that's ours, we're going to take that back too. See, y'all ain't thinking how this shit gonna work. It ain't gonna happen right while you're here. You're not gonna win the war in their house. That's why y'all, I mean, it's funny with white people here. White people running around all upset. Come take Texas. We waiting on you. We never said no crazy shit like that. Ain't nobody that damn stupid. What we said was we will file papers with the World Court, which will give the United States two choices. Either A, give us some land to establish our own country, which they're not going to do, or don't stand in our way when we exodus from this place to go somewhere where we're not shot, killed, knee in the neck, kidnapped, sexually trafficked, treated like secondhand citizens, lied to, spit to, and every damn thing else that y'all do to us, and then got the nerve to tell us that it's gonna be okay. You can kiss my ass right in the crack for that. I didn't come here for that.
Right.
I'm sorry, y'all done got me carried away up in here. Hold on.
He must sip his tea. You know what? Brother, I tell you, you know, and we have Brandon T. Jackson in here, and he said, yes, the nation, we call that the kingdom. And he's actually building up a system where, you know, forget, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where did he go?
Can I ask you a question? I bet this is the only broadcast that you've ever done that's had this many interruptions.
Second, because I had Supernova Slime on, it was doing that.
Same thing, right? So I don't know who got their anti Master J hat on, but come on now, give me a break. But
and Brandon T. Jackson, when he was talking about his Kingdom Pay, it was like, shit, can we live?
Can we get a sentence out?
Yes.
It's okay. But let me say something about that, just so y'all know what's about to happen, because I know a lot of people are not aware of this. There is a bill that's going through Congress right now. Matter of fact, I just happen to have a copy right here, because you know I stay on my game. In case y'all can't see the number on this bill, it's 6666.
Yes.
Okay. This is House Resolution 666. I call it the good news, bad news bill. Let me tell you why. And it was a black person that wrote this. The purpose of the bill is supposed to stop child pornography. That's a noble enough reason. We don't want our kids getting sexually abused online. Right. We all good with that, right? However, when you read the bill, and I started reading the bill because they like to slip shit on the last page. I didn't even make it to the last page. This bill is the one that's going to give the military the right to come into your house and vaccinate you against your will and give you what you think is a vaccination or an extermination shot, but it has another purpose. Back in 2019, right around the same time that the COVID-19 shit was scaring the hell out of y'all, there was a young man at MIT who patented what they call dissolvable needles. These 6 needles that they put in your arm that they dissolve. When the needles dissolve, it means the vaccine is now in your body, but it leaves a barcode right under your skin that can be read with a smartphone. That means that, remember, we're talking about the mark of the beast, y'all. You can't do anything if you don't have this barcode. You can't trade, you can't sell, you can't go to work, you can't get a job, can't get on a plane, you can't do nothing. That's straight out of Revelations. But here's the craziest part. It only lasts for 5 years. That means you got to go back and get another one. See the system they're trying to move you into? That's why now they're trying to get rid of cash. Everywhere you go now I can't take cash. Why? I ain't sneezed on this. I got it straight out the ATM machine. What you trying to say? No, because they want to go to a cashless society.
Right.
Here's why. I'm teaching. For centuries, money was gold and silver. Gold and silver. Matter of fact, when they first made the dollar, it used to say it was representative of gold. But they stole the gold from y'all. They made some law. They always make some law and say you can't have shit, okay? Like they used to be a time when you could have marijuana. Then they made a law, can't have shit, okay? So now they took the gold and they give you what's called fiat money. That money ain't based on shit. That's why I say if we build our own country, we have to establish our own money based on whatever our country is rich in. If our country is rich in gold, then that's what our money is based on. If our country is based on coconuts, then that's what our money is based on. Nigga, this 5 coconuts right here. I don't play. You know, I got 3 coconut trees back in there.
Hello.
Okay? And we're back to bartering and trading again, right? So if they can take the idea of money out the picture and make you think it's strictly in your head, because now it's just a concept. They can control something that used to be tangible, has become invisible. And now you can't go steal it no more. You are locked into a totalitarian one banking system. We got to get the fuck out of here before that happens.
Right.
Y'all think they building the wall to keep people out? No, they building the wall to keep you motherfuckers in.
Exactly. I told this some. Yes. It wasn't.
You ain't got no. Listen. Hold on. You ain't got to tell them. All they got to do is look back. Look back at Germany. They did the same thing. They're even using the same book. There's a book that you can read called Propaganda. Came out in 1921. This is the book that they still use. Anybody in PR knows this book. This is the book that you use to control people's mind, the mass mind. This is how you learn to influence people to do things. This is the same book that taught you that fluoride was good for your mouth. It's the same book that they used to convince you that smoking was sexy. It's the same book that Hitler used to convince people that the Jews were bad and they need to be marched off to the ovens. Now today, they're doing the same thing to black people. They want everybody to think you thugs. They want you to think that all the sisters hot all the time and ain't got no brains. They want to, but hold up. But they want you to think that you're good enough to get a degree in their education.
Right.
So you can become a highly paid servant, okay? To kill the black race, you kill the black man. Because you can only make a black child with a black man. Sisters, I know that's gonna bust your bubble. No, y'all didn't come to hear that. But you carry something in your body called the Eve gene. The Eve gene will allow you to make any type of child that's put in you. You can make any type of child, but you can only make a black child with a black man. So if you kill off the black man, you have killed off the black race, and they assimilate all you dominant gene females and use you as repositories to keep their geno-recessive race going. Don't get mad at me, but all of y'all who done that shit, all you're doing is assisting a group to stay alive that nature has already made stop having babies, and your dumb ass laying up there keeping them alive. I ain't mean to throw that acid on you, but if you've already done it, cut that shit short today. Pack your shit and walk out. Now, we might forgive you. We might have to send you through some therapy and shit, but at the end of the day, we'll sit you in a black room until you can't see nothing but black no more, and then they'll send a bruh like me and talking about what's happening.
Talk it.
Can I talk for a couple seconds?
Okay.
But y'all ain't hear none of this from me. At all. See, what else you want to talk about? You got me up in here. I feel like I'm back on Roland Martin again, but I'm glad you didn't think of Robin. To all your viewers, I'd like to wish everybody a shalom that stopped by, especially those that came in from the team. I want y'all to know that we still got some work to do. I keep telling y'all, you've only been a person for 56 years. You've only been off the plantation for 155 years. You were destroyed as a people for 246 years, and you were enslaved for 400 years, and we have just started.
That I do have a question that was inboxed to me earlier for you. What do you think about Crips and Blood organizations being a part of the cause? I like when, first of all, whoever asked you that question, that's a good question, but we don't use the word the cause no more. I can tell you've been hanging out around your mom and pops. There's no cause. We on a mission, as they say. And, I announced this the other day that we've actually, I told you, NFAC has been growing in leaps and bounds. We are a coalition. And we just joined alliances with the Black Riders. If you don't know who the Black Riders are out of Los Angeles. They are the ones that call the truce
between the Bloods and the Crips and the Rolling 60s and the GDs so that they can become our security force inside of these neighborhoods nationwide. So the question is actually not what are we going to do? We've already done it. The same way we have partnered with the Pan-African Resistance of Africa and of France, along with my man QB Sebi. And we've also partnered with a few other folks here in the United States, the Justice League, and also the Fred Hampton Gun Organization. All have agreed to come under the umbrella of the NFAC. To all the other organizations out there, we extend the opportunity for us to become unified as one force. So power. They just need to be organized. So that's the reason why we went to the Black Riders. The Black Riders, salute to General Taco. I'm not making up that name. That's actually an acronym. Not only do they control the Bloods and the Crips, they control all the prison gangs and all the gangs in the U.S. Bureau. Matter of fact, this will blow your mind. Right now, my videos are some of the most highly circulated in the prison system. How that goes, I don't know, because when I got locked up, I couldn't have a goddamn pen. You can get there with tablets and I got to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how does that look? But the bottom line is I got brothers all the time. They hit me from the inside telling me, I like what you're doing, bro. Come get us. Because I know you when it go down, break us out. We in your army. I know we're enlist you. Just come on, we go from one prison to the other. Bring everybody out. And we all know we got a common enemy. We have a common enemy. So that's something that we've already started to do. That's something that is it's good that here's why. The reason we have to get these young guys and young girls is because we're going to be gone soon. Y'all got to carry on the work. So if we get you in now and make you a part of it and socialize you into defending your own neighborhoods, it's kind of like the time I had to do the I Have a Dream speech, and they thought I was going to do Martin Luther King, and I didn't. My dream was a little different. You see, my dream was neighborhoods patrolled by armed blacks. My dream was police are shadowed by the black police force. My dream was neighborhood crime that is unprecedented and reduced by the black on black police. My dream was that the police can be arrested for mistreating citizens. My dream was the people fighting back. You see, my dream was completely different. My dream involved somebody getting their ass whipped. Okay, my dream would get us to a place that when we woke up, we could function. So having young folks involved in that process now and having them perform these functions, not only does it reduce the crime, it also gives us more of a backbone and a structure that will last for some time to come. So we welcome all of that. As a matter of fact, you know, let me tell you something that a lot of folks don't know. There's a book by Burrell called Brainwashed. And in Brainwashed, they talk about why we kill, why blacks kill each other. And one of the things that he studies is young people. And they all trace back to slavery. Young people killed each other because when we were slaves, we were taught to devalue ourselves.
Right.
And we were taught to hate each other. And what happens is within the younger people, there becomes this kill or be killed mentality out of earning respect. You stepped on my shoes. You said something wrong. You ain't got the right shirt on. That goes back to slavery. And a lot of folks don't know. And that's part of the mental chains that are still on us. We got to break those chains from these young folks first because they're being attacked by so many things. The media is putting images in their head. The music is hypnotic and putting stuff in their head. Most of y'all don't know that in 1933, Hitler conducted an experiment on repetitive sound, that if you keep hearing the same thing over and over again, how many times have you heard a song that the first time you heard it, you say, what is that bullshit? But by the time you heard it the 20th time, you walk around, don't worry, I hated that fucking song, but they had me singing the shit because they wouldn't stop playing it on my damn job. Now I'm coming home, don't worry, because it's repetitive. It's repetitive. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Plus melanated people. And thank you, Dr. Sebi. Thank you, Dr. Laila Africa, for teaching me these. These are my teachers. Rest in peace. He just passed. But he taught us that melanin has a frequency all its own. That's why music moves us so much. It's almost like the dancing Jello in Ghostbusters. That's what all this melanin is. That's why we get out there and the white people are like, well, it's a nice song. Man, sit your no melanin having that. I'm over here, healing the groove. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why melanin makes us see more colors, smell better, taste better, hear more sound. That's why we're so inclined. But they figured out that if they put the negative sounds into us and keep repeating it, you start to believe it. Okay? Now your mindset is different. And because of that, that's where all this garbage music comes from. I'm gonna be honest with you. In the season we're in right now, with everything that's going on right now, Rashida, don't nobody want to hear no booty music right now.
No.
Don't nobody want to hear about nobody. Don't nobody want to hear nobody about you getting no bag right now. That shit is over. That ended in this 2020 now. We want to hear something about the movement. We want to hear something about uplifting our people. We want to hear some fight back songs. We want to hear some empowerment songs. We want to hear Buy Back the Block, the remix. We want somebody to come out with an album talking about I'm gonna bust my guns if they do one more thing to me because I'm black. That's what the people want to hear, because music has always reflected the culture.
Exactly.
That's how you know we're not in control of the market. And don't get me wrong, big shout out to all my friends in the entertainment industry that on the low told me, bruh, we support you, but we can't say nothing because we got handlers. Okay? And if we say something, like Nick found out, they would take away from us what we have. So we just gonna be quiet. But Martin Luther King said, silence is betrayal.
Hold on. Now, wait, because this is getting good. Hold on. These questions are popping in, and I got to get to them because I know, yes, hold on. Hold that. Hold on a minute. Let me get it to, okay, question. Will you allow ex-felons to assist with helping brothers and sisters upon their release?
Well, that's a trick question, because first of all, when you start talking about the recidivism rate of those of us that will be leaving the penal system, you got to remember what our goal is. We're not trying to stay here. We're not trying to be a party to anything like that. So when we decide to exodus, we're going to ask the United States to do exactly what Cuba did. Open the jails and give those people to us to take with us. That's what they did when they had the Cuban, when they let all the people leave Cuba. They opened the jails and they let all the criminals come too. Y'all seen the movie Scarface?
Right.
Remember that? Remember Face?
Yep.
Same thing. We are a nation that's leaving those of us that want to leave. Some of y'all comfortable in your captivity. You keep your house nigga ass here. But for my folks,
right,
we gonna roll up out of here. And I guarantee you, since you've only been fed the slave master's Bible, you really don't know the story of what happened when they exited out of Egypt. Egypt wasn't standing nice and clean with no goddamn throne. Talking about Moses, fuck all of that. Egypt fell apart when we left. So you think that if 45 million of us exits from this country, that everything is going to be rosy like it is now? No, they're going to be mad at y'all, but y'all stay here. But the ones that's behind bars, the ones that are prisoners of war, the ones that are not psychologically, criminally insane, the bros that serving time, that get up, eat, sleep shit every day and hanging in there, you open those gates and you let them go with us. Otherwise, if things don't go right, and we know they probably won't, we're going to have to fight our way out of here. What makes you think we wouldn't bust open the prisons? That way, we're not worried about people getting released. You're not going to hold our people anymore. Y'all don't realize the season we're in. This is not an era. This ain't Black Lives fucking matter that we don't fuck with. This is us trying out. This is our chess move. We are making a move, and y'all either move with us or y'all gonna be sitting there like, damn, I cannot believe they left us, and now they're all this bullshit.
Right.
So that, but for the time being, let me tell you that people who are ex-felons right now that work along with the NFAC, we work with you to get your rights restored. Your voting rights, your right to own a weapon, because a lot of people, they take your rights from you, but they don't tell you if you even got them back. How many of y'all know that a first-time felons in some states, that once you complete your probation, once you complete any restitution that you have to the state, your rights are automatically restored. You get a document called a CERV. All you got to do is fill out the application, but they won't tell you that. They'll let you walk around for years thinking you can't vote because they don't want you to vote. They have you walking around for years thinking you can't own a gun because they want you defenseless. They're not going to tell you when you can be in power. The same way what happened in Brunswick. Do you think they rolled up on us and say, who told y'all boys y'all could have them guns out here like that? No, they could look us in our face and go, them niggas know what they doing. They'll shoot our ass and they'll be legally do it. We gonna go and leave them alone. But that's the whole problem. So anybody that's working with us, that we can help them fix and restore their rights to make them productive as we go through this season, we are. But when you start talking about people coming home, see, there'll be no people coming home. freezing the frame because it's burning them. But I say, like they say, let them rave so men will know them mad. Let them sit there and burn. Look, the longer y'all drag this out, the longer it's gonna take, because me and my sister ain't gonna quit. But just because y'all don't want to hear me talk, I'm gonna get the floor back to you. So they won't cut. They don't cut you off. They cut me off.
No.
As soon as I open my mouth, they cut me off.
It's totally fine, because listen, I got to switch over here too, baby, because I'll bring you right back, and it's okay. So, all right, so we got through that. Now, growing up, because people don't know these, and I want people to know a little bit more about you. So, in growing up, did you ever think?
That was part one. Here come part two. They really was coming for him, bro. The war is for your mind, y'all. Y'all better believe that shit if you don't believe nothing else for you. And here come part two, alright? Period, tapupu.
I can.
Down. Now.
I do apologize. I'm hoping that the last saved, and it seemed like it did not save. I tried to save it. These are the things that happen when you have truth speakers speaking realness and teaching things that we need to know to build our community up and our people. So thank you for coming back. We're going to get him on here, so keep on piling in. This is so crazy. All right, hold on. Everybody that's on here, y'all know he's speaking the truth because of the way that IG and and it's so crazy because I really saved it and it seems like it did not save. But you know what's going to happen though? You're right. We are going to connect live and in person. Uh-oh, now he's frozen. These things. People, stay in. Stay in. Thank you, NFAC, Jericho. All right. We're going to connect live and in person. You are so right.
We back. Look, let me tell you how you know they messing with you, Queen. The way I know that they messing with you, and your broadcast is being seen inside of the United States and in other places looking in, right? But last week, I did an interview with Black Diamond TV in the UK, which broadcast to all of Europe, all of Africa, and the Caribbean. And I was on for 2.5 hours, uninterrupted. Not one glitch, nothing. Why? Because the world was watching. That let me know somebody up there on the local level just sitting there, just messing. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. They gonna be all right. They gonna be all right. They gonna be all right.
Let me put this in here.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Go ahead. Give me what was the next question you had?
The next question. Hold on. Let me put in real quick. I'm just putting you in here. The official grand. Okay. Yes. Hold on. I'm trying to get it back. There we go. I just got to make sure I pin it right. So everyone, please try to just as much as you can screen record as he's speaking because these moments are very important in information that he's also giving. Let me get to the questions here. Let's see. All right, here we go. Jonah asks, where's an ideal place we can go? I guess So let
me explain that to you. Last year, I actually took a world tour. And anybody who's been following me actually followed me on that tour. I went to several countries in Africa. I went to South America. I went down, of course, into the Caribbean. I visited Haiti, Jamaica, Guinea, Ghana, Nigeria, Lagos, Mozambique, the People's Republic of the Congo. And all of those places I went, I didn't go to look at the land. I went to establish relationships with the ruling parties, not the puppet politicians, but the kings and the chiefs, so that I could ask this question. And I have to illustrate this as opposed to, let me find something that, okay. What we talked about was two countries that are right beside each other. Would you all be willing to donate 1,000 miles in each direction and form in the middle a new country that will be ours, that you two would agree to protect us while we're building the infrastructure? The same way they did with Israel. That's how they created the country of Israel. They carved out a piece of land and everybody protected it till they protect it to this day. So we said, if you let us build out this country will be a sovereign nation, and they would be our first two allies, so we could never get attacked until we build up our trade, until we start moving our population. So we're looking at creating this country. The two countries that I've talked to already that are probably the most inclined are Nigeria and Ghana. Carving an area right there, and 1,000 miles is what we asked, and I won't go into any more detail. There's some legal paperwork that has to happen. There is a filing that must go before the World Court, and then I would have to address the World Assembly at the UN. Once that's done, we would then be able to declare our country sovereign. And that means that under all of the treaties, there's 156 countries, there's 55 that would render us aid. They would also assist us in case we had to be defended. They would also assist us with moving our people. So that is what we would have to do. It's not so much where, it's how we do it. If you know anything about nation building, nation building is a series of steps. So there is not, look, y'all stop believing that 10 Commandments shit. We ain't gonna pack all our shit and be out there, oh, we ain't doing all that bullshit. That's not happening. First, we got to have the team that goes to build out the infrastructure. Who's gonna do it? You already got the jobs. See, a lot of folks don't understand, well, I don't wanna leave because I don't wanna lose my job. Stop being a goddamn slave. You work for somebody else.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I got my own business. Do you pay taxes? You work for somebody else. So whatever you do over here, you gonna do over there. So if I need people who know about landscaping, who know how to put in the propane pipe system for the whole country, electrical backup, who know how to build shipping ports, mining, all of that bullshit, welders, you got a job. So watch this. Then we have to bring over the businesses. Because now what we're going to do, see, people are like, where the fuck do you think all the resources on the planet come from? All the gold, all the platinum, all the silver, all that shit comes from Africa. So where else? We are automatically rich. I'm walking around with a big old ignorant rock. We here. Everybody, listen, y'all talking about reparations. We gonna get the reparations, but we can get the reparations later because they not going nowhere. We're going to go over here and build our shit up. And then when we're ready, we're going to come to them and say, y'all, we need to talk about some shit y'all owe us. 14 trillion.
Good afternoon. I am Malens, and I come from the richest country in the world. It is located in the richest continent in the world, in the west of the richest continent. My country is called Sierra Leone. On the surface, we are blessed with infinite beauty and abundance of flora and fauna, producing the most exquisite harvest of coffee, cocoa, fruits, vegetables, and caoutchouc. You name it, we've got it. We also have diverse wildlife and vast marine resources, and waterfalls and rivers that run into the most beautiful beaches. The land is golden, literally, a true paradise. Which, of course, is inhabited by the most beautiful souls. We have a very strong cultural heritage. In fact, Sierra Leone had the first sub-Saharan university. Prior to that, there was one in the kingdom of Timbuktu, which was the first university in the world, succeeding the great Gnostic schools of Egypt and Osiris. On a deeper level, we are blessed with the real treasures, the kings and queens of this world desire. This was the largest alluvial diamond ever found. It weighs almost 1,000 carats, 969 to be precise. This beauty was found by an old lady in her backyard about 2 years ago, 125 carats. Some people mine gold in their backyards. That's quite common. Besides gold and diamonds, we have about 20 precious minerals that have been discovered as of today. We recently started extracting huge petroleum reserves that have been discovered. We have platinum, ilmenite to make titanium, rutile to coat jets, iron ore, the largest iron ore deposits in Africa, the third largest in the world. Tantalite, also known as coltan, used in your mobile phones and computers. Bauxite for aluminum production. Zinc, chrome ore, copper, coal, phosphates, potassium, salt, lead, granite, asbestos, nickel, zircon.
Dollars, you know what I'm saying? We need to go ahead and collect that. And while we at it, we want all our shit out the museum that y'all stole. We want our 63,000 bars of gold that y'all stole, and then we go into the Vatican.
Furthermore, we have exquisite timber like mahogany, antique, and we have the most beautiful stamps in the world. Of course, the West needs Africa's resources most desperately to power airplanes, cell phones, computers, and engines. And the gold and diamonds, of course, a status symbol to determine their powers by their core and to give value to their currencies. One thing that keeps me puzzled, despite having studied finance and economics at the world's best universities, the following question remains unanswered. Why is it that 5,000 units of our currency is worth 1 unit of your currency, where we are the ones with the actual gold reserves?
Open up the goddamn library and give us all our shit back that's sitting in the library that y'all goddamn it you stole from the Library of Alexandria. And then while we at it, you can take this slave master Bible back because we got the original Greek Aramaic text. Everybody in it was black and you don't want to admit it. Stop trying to be us by trying to erase us.
It's quite evident that the aid is in fact not coming from the West to Africa, but from Africa to the Western world. The Western world depends on Africa in every possible way, since alternative resources are scarce out here. So how does the West ensure that the free aid keeps coming? By systematically destabilizing the wealthiest African nations and their systems, and all.
Right. Exactly. And that's what they love to do. And
I hope I answered their question. I hope I ain't hurt their feelings.
I think you did. Hold on. I got a few more.
And well, let me add one more thing.
Reparation.
Let me add one more thing. Hold on. And here we go. Now they done got mad.
Oh, no. Hold on, people. We're bringing them back. I tell you, they mad. They're mad. They're mad.
Oh, they
they big mad at us. They big mad. They big mad. They big mad. But here's the problem. They can be mad all they want. See, we're not the guys who show up with signs and rainbows. We the guys that show up with 5.56 and 7.62 rounds.
Well, under the Constitution, we have a right to fuck. Black lives matter. We don't fuck with them. We don't talk. We don't sing. We ain't trying to overcome. We ain't trying to hold hands with you no more. We don't give a fuck about your rainbow. This is for black people. We can't never have none to our damn self. So we gonna have this to our damn self. I'm gonna give y'all the rules of engagement. Do not point your weapon at anybody unless they do something to you first. Under Georgia law, you have the right to use deadly force to kill their ass. And I expect that out of every last one of you motherfuckers out here today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you ain't never fired your weapon before, this ain't the time to learn. Some shit pop off, get the fuck out of the way and let those of us that's trained to do it do our job. Ladies, you can be a hero if you want to, but I expect these kings.
Right, sure you will. I saw the meme, it was the, I'm not gonna wear a fucking mask in your thumbnail or whatever. Bingo card, it's like photos of goatee, Bob White. I saw this meme, it was the hat, I'm not gonna wear a mask.
What is a black person? What is a white person? It is a short experience called human. So, try this. Instead of saying I am black, I am white, I am whatever.
Supporting the white agenda, you know, it makes you wonder. They might be able to put somebody who looks black in the Oval Office. It says, at the discretion of the president, King Alfred is to be put into action when? In other words, when the president of the United States, not Congress, not the House, not the Senate, not the House of Representatives, not the Senate, when the president declares this emergency is to be implemented immediately. Participating federal agencies, what are they? National Security Council, what else? Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Justice, Department of Defense, Department of Interior. Participating state agencies, what are they? National Guard units, state police.
Grenade launches and shit. So they can be mad at us all they want, but you ain't gonna do shit.
Hello.
Now, let me say this real quick. I know there's a lot of us out there that are sitting around talking about, well, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? When are we gonna leave? You sound like slaves in Egypt. Do you think they asked that question? Let me use this example for you. Let me show you how y'all should be thinking. If I was locked behind bars with all my brothers, I know I got a lot of brothers locked down right now, watch me right now, bro. I feel y'all, I'm with y'all the whole way. But y'all know, it don't make a difference how long I've been there. I could be there for 3 days. I just got there. You've been there for 3 lifetimes. You serving your time. If I find a way to open up all the gates, if I find a way to open up the exit so we can get the fuck out, ain't nobody can say like, well, I ain't going nowhere because first of all, I don't know him and we get 3 hots in the car here. Why are we going somewhere? Where y'all going? We go to the, man, you don't sit your punk ass down. We out.
Right.
It'll be on TV. You know how it look like roaches coming out of the box. Everybody just left.
Yes.
We didn't care where we was going. We didn't care how we got there. We just knew we was free.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way y'all have to be. We got the plan. If you ever tune in to Facts Over Feelings or the Morning Mental, I talk about it. I've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks. There's a master plan. There's a way for us to gauge what the top 5 issues are that are affecting all of us. And that becomes our platform. And whether you stay here and you play the stupid ass voting game, or you come with us and you help us establish the path, whatever those top 5 issues are, those are the things that we all agreed on.
Yes.
It's what's important to us. And anyone who can't support that platform, you don't get our vote. You don't get our money no more. Y'all running around here with Louis Vuitton bag. Don't you know Louis Vuitton used to have black people in a zoo? Y'all running around here talking about Nike. Don't y'all know that Nike's the ones who made all of the Nazis' uniforms? You talking about, I work at General Motors, I got a pension. General Motors is the ones that built the tanks that Hitler used. And who the fuck you think made the Zyklon B that went inside of the gas chamber? That's DuPont. So a lot of those companies that did that shit, they still here. And you want to stay here? Okay.
That's
you know
crazy.
what?
That's crazy. Crazy.
So I had to say that because there's a lot of people who are against what we're talking about because they're comfortable.
Oh, when that
you got 15 more minutes, sister.
Oh, okay, yes. You know, definitely. So
come on, let's unpack something else. We rolling right now. We on the horse, as they say. We on the horse. Let's go.
So the reparations. Now, I heard that, of course, that they said that North Carolina City approves reparations for slavery, and you know, of course, what did that mean for a black community? They were saying that they're going to do programs and all these things. Like, what do you think about that?
Complete bullshit. You can stop. Don't sing that bullshit to me. That's bullshit. Don't y'all fall for that shit. First of all, exactly. A city and a state can't give reparations. They cannot. Only the nation that committed the offense against the other nation can pay reparations. You are not going to let everybody who was involved in the Portuguese slave trade off the hook because you opened up some fucking program. We don't want no program. We want our land that's owed to us. We want all the money that's owed to us, and then we want damages for what you did to our people for 250 years. Every rape, every murder, everything that you did to destroy our culture, all of the brain. And then on top of that, we all fucked up. We suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder. That's why we can't get our shit together. We're in an abusive relationship with you, and you won't leave the room. You won't leave me alone. I can't heal because here. Don't you hate that when you got a dude that's always in your face? We wrong with you. We wrong with you. You trying to tell him, you get out my face for 5 minutes, he don't leave, and then you boil some water, throw it on him. Now I'm coming to visit you on Saturday. That's the problem. We are in a situation, that means nothing. That is a gesture. You're going to pay me money for what? First of all, everybody done moved around. Second of all, who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm worth? No. Let's do the math real quick.
Okay.
Right.
Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show you how you do it. Watch this. They're going to cut me off when I say it. I know.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we're getting them back on, y'all. Uh-oh. I don't even think I can. Okay, hold on. We're going back.
Are we back?
We are back.
All right. Okay. Now, what I was about to say before, I guess I must have got a little too close. It got a little too hot in here. They pulled the plug. I'm counting how many times they gonna do it. We over here running. I'm gonna owe you $20, bro. Okay. It ain't even getting it. They're gonna do it to us one more time. I know it's coming. So let me get back to this. So I wanted to say, listen, let me show you how you do the math. When they abolished slavery, or so-called abolished slavery, they said, oh, there they go. I ain't gonna be talking about slavery today. Gonna be no slaves in this month.
You know what? Oh my God. I've never went through this before. When they abolished slavery, tell it.
When I start talking about this, they always pull the plug. This is where they pull the plug. I may not even get through this. I'm gonna try. When they abolished slavery, we were worth $3.6 billion. Okay? We were worth more than anything that they owned. Even all their manufacturing. We were the most valuable. Your wealth was based on how many of us you owned. Remember that. That was only 4 million of us at the time. 4.5 million at the end of slavery. Today, there are 45 to 50 million of us that we can count. Now, if you do the math, that comes out to somewhere around $437 billion of property that's walking around that they can't do nothing with. And they got this mentality. You know what I'm talking about. You ever heard somebody say this? If I can't have you, nobody can't have you. That's why they're trying to kill your ass. That's why they don't want to pay for you to go home. They know if you go home, you're going to get your shit together and be back. But so they rather kill you in place. So all y'all that keep trooping on down the Parent Plan hood when they only have that shit in the black neighborhoods. All y'all that keep letting them put the little needle in your arm when you don't know what's in that shit. All y'all that keep eating them GMO foods and shit and y'all don't know what that shit is doing to you. All y'all that's living by these 5G towers without realizing they now can shut your ass down. Y'all don't know what's going on. All y'all that keep letting them stick the thing up your nose talking about they testing you for COVID-19. It is on the stick. They trying to kill you. That's why they in Africa right now trying to give vaccines out. This is all about extermination and genocide. Right. Y'all don't want to believe that they'll do that shit. Do you know how many races they've exterminated? Everybody like to see the Tasmanian devil. You know, he come on TV, the Tasmanian. That's really a joke in your face because the Tasmanians were exterminated. They were an African civilization that was exterminated. That lived off the coast of Africa. They killed all of them. They're all gone. And then they laughing in your face by making him a goddamn cartoon character that's spinning around and shit.
Deep.
They laughing in your face. So remember, $3.6 billion back then. That's this. Now keep that in mind. In Haiti, big shout out to all my Haitian brothers. I love to tell y'all a story. When the Haitians decided that they were done with the white people, the French people, they killed every black person that was impartial to the white folks. Oh, did you think you were going to tiptoe your ass into the kingdom? No. So by the time they went to the white folks and say, we done with y'all, there was nobody back and talking about, let's talk about it. Let's hold hands. Let's just all get a shut the fuck, kill him. Okay, who left? Nobody? Good. Like I said, we not having this shit no more. So they got their freedom. Watch this. The French, I hate to use that term. The white people turned around, came back and said, we will invade the island again and re-enslave you unless you pay all of the plantation owners damages for the property that they lost. Let me make sure I got this right. I'm a slave. I got free and I got to pay the motherfuckers that enslaved me for losing me. But that's what they did. And they put the country in such severe debt that they could never I think it's somewhere around like $30 billion right now that they have to pay them. I know they tried to get it all cut down like in 2010, but they still paying money back for themselves. Okay, that's not even the half. Hold on, that's not even the half of it. Think about it. Think about it. They started an activity.
Right.
How could y'all tell us? How could y'all tell us how much we were worth to the slave owners that we had to pay them back? If you can figure that out, then you know how much we are worth to the slave owners. That's our reparations, and it comes out to somewhere around $17 trillion. You and I both know if we all United States and damage the economy, and they had to pay us $17 trillion, you might as well get the harmonica out, because your ass gonna be right back where you was back in the cave, because you ain't gonna have shit.
Right. Right.
So these little gestures they making, don't y'all believe that? We don't want no program. We're not a computer. We don't need to be programmed no more, okay? We look on top of that, your little money ain't the money. You don't have enough money to pay me for what you did to my people.
Exactly. Not enough. Hold on now. Wait. We got some coming in. Okay, here we go. Will you ever make a chapter on NFAC for people younger, like 16 plus?
No. NFAC is a militia. We are, under the Constitution, a fighting force. Therefore, no, you don't have the mental wherewithal yet to understand the rigors of real combat. I've been to combat many times before. Killing is not something that you subject children to. The scriptures teach us that, not the slave master's Bible, our ancient Kemetic text. No, you learn. And once you have learned under the auspices of the queens, and once they have you conditioned enough, there is a ritual to becoming a man. There is a ritual to becoming a woman. We don't subject you to these things that we were put here to defend for you. So no, we're not going to have any children in adult situations where we are out fighting for our freedom. Now, can they learn from us? Yes. Will there be, as a matter of fact, part of the plan is the division of education, where we would make sure you understood why we do what we do and who we emulate. People like Hannibal, people like Shaka Zulu, people like Emotep. Those folks, you can get into that program. But as far as standing in post with us for what we're doing, hell to the no.
All right. That's
you're what we're fighting for. You're what we're protecting. You don't put your children out on the front line when you got grown ass men and women out here that can get it in.
Right.
And if you heard what I said in Stone Mountain, I told every brother out there, even though we got women out here with guns, I expect every last one of y'all to take a bullet for them first, while we kill every motherfucker out here. Excuse me.
It's all right. Hey, listen, I'm with you. Hold on, let's see. I'm trying to get to they will pay. Okay. They will pick on Asians to do their work. If they exclude blacks and treat them like shit, then the whole world. Well,
whoever said that is very disillusioned, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Asians by population by the year 2050 will be so numerous that they won't even have enough room to stay into China. That's why they're trying to invade places like Jamaica. That's why they're trying to encroach into places like Africa. They've run out of place. There are more of them than you can count. No one's going to pick on the Asians. Matter of fact, the United States is so in debt to China at this point that they act like they don't exist. So don't sit there and come with that play the card of, you're going to pick on the Asians. They're not going to pick on shit, because the Asians right now control all of the technology. The Asians right now will have the #1 economy by the year 2020. So I don't know who done slid up in here and put that bullshit ass question up here. This is a conversation about black folks. This is a conversation about what we trying to do. This is a conversation about where we going. This is our family cookout. This is our family reunion. Then we at the black funeral, and your ass can't jump in the casket. So stop trying to slide your ass for once. We want something all to ourselves. We can't never have shit to ourselves without somebody raising a goddamn question about somebody who ain't got shit to do with the final disposition of black people.
Yes.
The fuck out of here with that shit.
What are your thoughts about children returning to school?
They shouldn't. School is not school. School is indoctrination in this country. It's all built on lies. It's all built on their version of how they want you to function. What should happen is we should all begin to homeschool our children and teach them that there's more to history than 1619 to 1969. Teach me about the 25 dynasties of Egypt. Teach me about the true Kemetic Arabic text. Show me how to read Aramaic. Teach me about the Sumerians. Make me read all of Stitchen's book. Teach me who Enki and Enlil was in the New. Teach me what's the difference between the Ankh and the cross. Teach me these things. Don't teach me about what the white men did when they crawled out the caves and decided to barbarianize everybody around the world and try to romanticize that shit. No, y'all ain't got to go back to school. Keep your ass at home. Just don't come around my house.
Right.
Talking about, sir, we selling candy.
It's also, have you ever heard of the Marcus Garvey Empowerment Bank?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us about that?
No. If they ask me if I heard about it, that's the answer. It's really a bigger question. Marcus Garvey was trying to build on the same concept that Muammar Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, and a whole lot of other people that the United States killed and called gangsters. Anytime somebody wants to establish their own monetary bank based on the group economics model, that means that the dollar will be weakened. Okay? Marcus Garvey, like everybody else, believed that we should pool our resources, establish our own bank, establish our own form of currency, as I just said, for the ethno-nation, and then the trade within those. There were 5 countries that were over in Africa that were about to do that. Well, there they go. We're talking about money. They don't pull the plug. You know, I don't know who the little man is up there, but bro, we about done. I got 5 more minutes. We'll come back one more time, one more again.
Yes, sir. Oh, I gotta love him. Hold on.
Yes.
It's so crazy. All right. Okay. We're gonna go through these questions fast. Do you have a cyber?
This the last. This is the last go right here. I don't know how we're gonna do it.
It's okay.
We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it.
The other thing is that do you have a cybersecurity team in the
Absolutely.
Space? Okay.
Matter of fact, let me just say this. I hold a master's degree in computer science. Okay. We have our Batman and we have our Bruce Wayne. My Bruce Wayne is I am one of the most accomplished cyber experts. Matter of fact, I worked for the Cyber Command outside of Kuwait. And yes, not only do we have our own cybersecurity team, we have our own drone systems, we have our own coders, we have our own cloud architects, we have our own developers, we have our own web designers, we have everything, just like you all have all the talents. We're just bringing you under the organization. And if we don't have it, we go find it.
All right. Okay, hold on. Let me just grab the 2 more questions, people, I'm going to bring up. Here we go. What can us as Black educators do to support NFAC?
That's interesting. When they say Black educators, I would assume that they would have to be a little bit more specific. I've already indicated to you that the educational system in the United States is not an educational system. It is a system of indoctrination that's built on principles that were established in the 1800s when white people was going through their superiority wave, where they were changing everything. So I would say that if you know anything about the blueprint or the master plan that we've already been talking about, there is a division that anyone who is an educator could become a part of in the building of that nation. If you don't mind, I can talk about it for a few minutes. And those educators that are on the phone or on the call with us, you can see that you get in where you fit in. Okay. One of those divisions is the division of public education. And the purpose of that is to, there we go again. They don't cut us off. Let's jump out and come back. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through it. Don't worry, baby. We're going to get through it. Don't.
Okay. Hold on, guys.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in because we're getting short for time.
Yes.
We've already pulled in teachers from the teaching profession that do everything from design curriculums to actually building high schools, to actually sitting down and coming up with the framework. We've already started that. Any other educators that wanted to become a part of the process, once we get past the master educators in, to help us address 2 key areas. The first thing is to understand the purpose. The purpose is to achieve a higher standard of teaching and student achievement on every level involved in the education of Black children and youth, and to develop a better system of general adult education in all Black communities. That division would include the following: foundation for directed research, field studies, and the training of scholars, neglected areas in various aspects of African life and history. In other words, teaching them about us. Okay, making sure that we fill those gaps so that we don't have students that are asking, well, what about us? They never talk about us. Filling those gaps. The other one is a general publishing board. Every textbook and all other related works about the progress of our race, you will be instrumental in creating those. The newspapers and the magazines and the professional journals, the community action newsletters, you will be instrumental in getting those created. Now, see, they don't cut us off again. I'm going to jump out. I'm going to finish this if they have to hang me upside down. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, Instagram, you guys, y'all love to just knock the truth out. I don't understand. No, I do understand. Okay.
All right. So I still got my educators. You all have a very important part in all of that, because we would form what's called, watch this, a committee of visitors. The purpose of that is there should be one in every community. This is a place where you become acquainted with the teachers, the students, and the textbooks, and all the learning materials that's being taught. They don't have to go to the school. We have a committee of visitors. That's what they do. It's their job to determine to what extent, if any, that the anti-African or anti-Black feeling on the part of the teachers or Black youth that can be hidden are exposed. That's where all that's pointed out, because if this is the flavor of what we're teaching, these are the topics we want to, you up in here acting like you got a problem with it. You got to go, cuz. Okay? Every committee of school visitors should be elected by the people of that community and report directly to them. So you get that in, do what you want to do, your ass gonna be gone because the people put you in and the people put you out. Last but not least, in answering that question, the Division of Education would justify its existence if it did nothing more than conduct studies as a basis for proposing guidelines for the Black race. So you have a very, very important role. And for those of y'all who don't understand that, they've taken some of our models and they flipped them over. Let me give you an illustration. There's the story of this guy who went to see this Black king. And he said, they said, what are you doing here? He says, I want to do business with Black people. They said, okay, well, you got to talk to the king. They said, well, okay, let me talk to him. They said, well, he ain't here yet, so have a seat and we'll let him know. So they called the king. So the king pulled up in the deuce, came on in, we Black people. And he went and sat down. He went in his office and shut the door. And so the white guy was sitting there like, okay, I'm ready to talk to the king. But then somebody came in and saw the king and left. Then a man came and a lady came and all these Black people kept coming and seeing the king and they left. And the dude, he was feeling some kind of way. Like, I can't believe I've been sitting out here this whole time waiting to see this damn king to make some money in his community and he don't even want to talk to me. I'm feeling some kind of way. Finally, the door popped open. The king said, come on in. Oh, he feeling some kind of way. He went in there. The king said, have a seat. Would you like some tea? He said, no. He said, well, hold on. He said, what's happening? He said, I can't believe that you made me wait all this time to see you. He said, and you saw all those people before me. He says, you got it twisted. I didn't make you wait for anything. You know, all those people that came in here to see me, that's the people that put me in here. I had to get approval from them before I could see you, and they all gave approval. See, they put me in power, and they can take me out if I don't do what they tell me to do. Are we frozen again?
Yes.
We go again.
Every time. You know, people... We're going to get our own platform.
Every 5 minutes now. It's going to be every 5 minutes now. See, they don't found you now. They just messing with you now. We're going to wrap it up. The point I'm making is we're going to pick the people in the educational system. And if they're not doing the job based on feedback that we get from the visitors committee and all the other standards that we set, and this is on the educators. This ain't you. This is not a battlefield. We're not putting you back into the same environment of what they did before.
Right.
We're talking about true places where you can learn and you can nurture minds and do all of those things that teachers used to do. The same reason you chose to be a teacher, you'll get to enjoy yourself again and do those things. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I want to say thank you so much. There's some more, of course, questions, but somebody asked, are you making a trip to Louisville?
I have already. I'm gonna talk about that before I go, because a lot of people don't know what's going on, and there are a lot of people running around perpetrating the fraud, as we say. And so here's what's going on because you haven't been keeping up. 2 days ago, and it's on my Instagram page if anybody wants to see it. I had a meeting with the mayor, the city council, representatives of the police department, and activists who heard through the grapevine that the NFAC was about to pull up. And so they figured that it would be in their best interest to have a conversation with me to assure me that there was no need for us to pull up, that they had things under control, and could we please just give them a little more time. In the course of that conversation, we found out that the holdup was that none of the people on the call could charge these folks because the decision rested with the attorney general. So I let them know in so many terms that I don't want to talk to y'all. I want to talk to the attorney general. I need to hear from him because right now it looks like y'all don't give a shit. Okay? And if y'all don't give a shit, we don't give a shit. So let's not give a shit and come to a meeting somewhere, go get him. So they went, they hunt him down. It turns out he was on a vacation with Karen, but that's cool, came back. And I did not know he was a brother. When I found out he was a brother, I was all upset because I found out that one of the most racist congressmen in the world put him in power. He's a protege of McConnell. So of course he might, like Maya Angelou, I knew then and there that he was full of shit. And I said it, and I said it publicly. So therefore, yes, they have won the sweepstakes for us to pull up into Louisville. However, there are some things that we're doing that we don't tell everybody all our details. Right. We don't tell you when we're coming. We don't tell you how we're coming. What you do need to know is we're coming. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Y'all heard it from the official Grand Master Jay. And I so appreciate you. And of course, we will be talking after this because you know what? We're going to speak after this because Instagram, it seems like, is not feeling us. But it's all good, though. But our people on here are. So, everyone, I hope you screen record it. And when it hangs up, and hopefully it saves, please screen record it and post it, share it. We want to get all of this out, the word out, and all this knowledge that you need to soak up. So, thank you so much, King. I appreciate you.
Don't y'all forget, please join me on the Morning Mental, 8 a.m. on Monday, Wednesdays, some Thursdays and Fridays, depending on how y'all speaks to me. And Facts Over Feelings, 8:30, same nights, where we get it in and we dig into the facts. I'll let you know now, don't bring your feelings. If you have problems with your feelings, get help. Don't come to us. We only deal in facts over there. And if you have another color persuasion, you're more than welcome to come sit in the congregation, but you're not allowed to talk. We will kick you out. Other than that, it's been great being here with you. I want to send a big shout out to all my members of the NFAC that did come to join us. And as you said before, there's 7 different sides to a story. And right now, we're going through a cycle, folks. There is a spirit of karma that's floating around the world. Everything that's done in the dark is coming to the light. It is our time now for us to get up, get our minds right, and get on the move. I hope y'all will come check me out at the official Grandmaster Jay. If you want to join the NFAC, you can go to info at blacknfac.com. It is an email address. It is not a website. Info, the little @ symbol, blacknfac.com. Give us your contact information, tell us your story, and we will put you through the vetting process and see if you can become one of the soldiers that y'all think is so easy to do out there, like what you saw, because we got another party coming up. And later on this summer, we are looking to do the 1,000,000 gun formation, 1,000,000 black guns in one particular place. I won't tell you where, so they won't shut us down till we get there, till we pull up. 1,000,000 guns, and when we do it, it'll be the biggest thing that's ever been done in history. So I hope y'all stay with me. I hope I haven't scared y'all away. I love all of y'all. I know it's a rough relationship, and if nobody ain't told you all day, black folks, if don't nobody tell you that they love you, I love you too. I'm your big brother. I'm the father you never had.
Oh man.
speaking. I do apologize. I'm hoping that the last saved, and it seemed like it did not save. I tried to save it. These are the things that happen when you have truth speakers speaking realness and teaching things that we need to know to build our community up and our people. So thank you for coming back. We're going to get him on here, so keep on piling in. This is so crazy. All right, hold on. Everybody that's on here, y'all know he's speaking the truth because of the way that IG and and it's so crazy because I really saved it and it seems like it did not save. But you know what's going to happen though? You're right. We are going to connect live and in person. Uh-oh, now he's frozen. You know these things. People, stay in. Stay in. Thank you, NFAC, Jericho. All right. We're going to connect live and in person. You are so right.
We back. Look, let me tell you how you know they messing with you, Queen. The way I know that they messing with you, and your broadcast is being seen inside of the United States and in other places looking in, right? But last week, I did an interview with Black Diamond TV in the UK, which broadcast to all of Europe, all of Africa, and the Caribbean. And I was on for 2.5 hours, uninterrupted. Not one glitch, nothing. Why? Because the world was watching. That let me know somebody up there on the local level just sitting there, just messing. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. They gonna be all right. They gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Go ahead, give me what was the next question you had?
The next question, hold on, let me put in real quick I'm just putting you in here. The official grand. Okay. Yes. Hold on, I'm trying to get it back. There we go. I just gotta make sure I pin it right. So everyone, please try to just as much as you can screen record as he's speaking because these moments are very important in information that he's also giving. Let me get to the questions here. Let's see. All right, here we go. Jonah asks, where's an ideal place we can go? I guess So let
me explain that to you. Last year, I actually took a world tour. And anybody who's been following me actually followed me on that tour. I went to several countries in Africa. I went to South America. I went down, of course, into the Caribbean. I visited Haiti, Jamaica, Guinea, Ghana, Nigeria, Lagos, Mozambique, the People's Republic of the Congo. And all of those places I didn't go to look at the land. I went to establish relationships with the ruling parties, not the puppet politicians, but the kings and the chiefs, so that I could ask this question. And I have to illustrate this as opposed to, let me find something back. Okay. What we talked about was two countries that are right beside each other. Would you all be willing to donate 1,000 miles in each direction and form in the middle a new country that will be ours, that you two would agree to protect us while we're building the infrastructure? The same way they did with Israel. That's how they created the country of Israel. They carved out a piece of land and everybody protected it. They protect it to this day. So we said, if you let us build out this country will be a sovereign nation, and they would be our first two allies, so we could never get attacked. until we build up our trade, until we start moving our population. So we're looking at creating this country. The two countries that I've talked to already that are probably the most inclined are Nigeria and Ghana. Carving an area right there, and 1,000 miles is what we asked, and I won't go into any more detail. There's some legal paperwork that has to happen. There is a filing that must go before the World Court, and then I would have to address the World Assembly at the UN. Once that's done, we would then be able to declare our country sovereign. And that means that under all of the treaties, there's 156 countries, there's 55 that would render us aid. They would also assist us in case we had to be defended. They would also assist us with moving our people. So that is what we would have to do. It's not so much where, it's how we do it. If you know anything about nation building, nation building is a series of steps. So there is not, look, y'all stop believing that 10 Commandments shit. We ain't gonna pack all our shit and be out there, oh, we ain't doing all that bullshit. That's not happening. First, you got to have the team that goes to build out the infrastructure. Who's gonna do it? You already got the jobs. See, a lot of folks don't understand, well, I don't wanna leave because I don't wanna lose my job. Stop being a goddamn slave. You work for somebody else.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I got my own business. Do you pay taxes? You work for somebody else. So whatever you do over here, you gonna do over there. So if I need people who know about landscaping, who know how to put in the propane pipe system for the whole country, electrical backup, who know how to build shipping ports, mining, all of that bullshit, welders, you got a job. So watch this. Then we have to bring over the businesses. Because now what we're going to do, see, people are like, I don't want to leave. Where in the fuck do you think all the resources on the planet come from? All the gold, all the platinum, all the silver, all that shit comes from Africa. So where else? We are automatically rich. I'm walking around with a big old ignorant rock. We here. Everybody, listen, y'all talking about reparations. We gonna get the reparations, but we can get the reparations later because they not going nowhere. We gonna go over here and build our shit up. And then when we're ready, we gonna come to them and say, y'all, we need to talk about some shit y'all owe us. $14 trillion, you know what I'm saying? We need to go ahead and collect that. And while we at it, we want all our shit out the museum that y'all stole. We want our 63,000 bars of gold that y'all stole. And then we go into the Vatican, open up the goddamn library and give us all our shit back that's sitting in the library that y'all goddamn it you stole from the Library of Alexandria. And then while we at it, you can take this slave master Bible back because we got the original Greek Aramaic text. Everybody in it was black and you don't want to admit it. Stop trying to be us by trying to erase us.
Right. Exactly. And that's what they love to do. And
I hope I answered their question. I hope I ain't hurt you.
I think you did. Hold on, I got a few more.
And well, let me add one more thing. Hold on, let me add one more thing. Let me add one more thing. Hold on. And here we go. Now you got mad.
Oh no! Hold on, people. We're bringing them back. I tell you, they mad. They're mad. They're mad.
Oh, they big mad at us. They big mad. They big mad. They big mad. But here's the problem. They can be mad all they want. See, we're not the guys who show up with signs and rainbows. We the guys that show up with 5.56 and 7.62 rounds and grenade launches and shit. So they can be mad at us all they want, but you ain't gonna do shit.
Hello.
Now, let me say this real quick. I know there's a lot of us out there that are sitting around talking about, well, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? When are we gonna leave? You sound like slaves in Egypt. Do you think they asked that question? Let me use this example for you. Let me show you how y'all should be thinking. If I was locked behind bars with all my brothers, I know I got a lot of brothers locked down right now, watch me right now, bro. I feel y'all, I'm with y'all the whole way. But y'all know, it don't make a difference how long I've been there. I could be there for 3 days. I just got there. You've been there for 3 lifetimes. You serving your time. If I find a way to open up all the gates, if I find a way to open up the exit so we can get the fuck out, ain't nobody be saying like, well, I ain't going nowhere because first of all, I don't know him and we get 3 hots in the car here. Why we going somewhere? Where y'all going? We go to the, man, you don't sit your punk ass down. We out.
Right.
It'll be on TV. You know how it look like roaches coming out of the box. Everybody just left.
Yes.
We didn't care where we was going. We didn't care how we got there. We just knew we was free.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way y'all have to be. We got the plan. If you ever tune in to Facts Over Feelings or the Morning Mental, I talk about it. I've been talking about it for the last 2 weeks. There's a master plan. There's a way for us to gauge what the top 5 issues are that are affecting all of us. And that becomes our platform. And whether you stay here and you play the stupid ass voting game, or you come with us and you help us establish the path, whatever those top 5 issues are, those are the things that we all agreed on. It's what's important to us. And anyone who can't support that platform, you don't get our vote. You don't get our money no more. Y'all running around here with Louis Vuitton bag. Don't you know Louis Vuitton used to have black people in a zoo? Y'all running around here talking about Nike. Don't y'all know that Nike's the ones who made all of the Nazis' uniforms? You talking about, I work at General Motors, I got a pension. General Motors is the ones that built the tanks that Hitler used. And who the fuck you think made the Zyklon B that went inside of the gas chamber? That's DuPont. So a lot of those companies that did that shit, they still here. And you want to stay here? Okay.
That's
you know
crazy.
what?
That's crazy. Crazy.
So I had to say that because there's a lot of people who are against what we're talking about because they're comfortable.
Oh, when that
you got 15 more minutes, sister.
Oh, okay, yes. You know, definitely.
Come on, let's unpack something else. We rolling right now. We on the horse, as they say. We on the horse. Let's go.
So the reparations. Now, I heard that, of course, that they said that North Carolina City approves reparations for slavery, and you know, of course, what did that mean for a black community? They were saying that they're going to do programs and all these things. Like, what do you think about that?
Complete bullshit. You can stop. Don't sing that bullshit to me. That's bullshit. Don't y'all fall for that shit. First of all, a city and a state can't give reparations. They cannot. Only the nation that committed the offense against the other nation can pay reparations. You are not going to let everybody who was involved in the Portuguese slave trade off the hook because you opened up some fucking program. We don't want no program. We want our land that's owed to us. We want all the money that's owed to us, and then we want damages for what you did to our people for 250 years. Every rape, every murder, everything that you did to destroy our culture, all of the brain. And then on top of that, we all fucked up. We suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder. That's why we can't get our shit together. We're in an abusive relationship with you, and you won't leave the room. You won't leave me alone. I can't heal because here. Don't you hate that when you got a dude that's always in your face? We wrong with you. We wrong with you. You trying to tell him, you get out my face for 5 minutes. He don't leave, and then you boil some water, throw it on him. Now I'm coming to visit you on Saturday. That's the problem. We are in a situation, that means nothing. That is a gesture. You're going to pay me money for what? First of all, everybody done moved around. Second of all, who the fuck are you to tell me what I'm worth? No. Let's do the math real quick.
Okay.
Right.
No. Watch this. I'm going to show you how you do it. Watch this. They're going to cut me off when I say it. I know.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we're getting them back on, y'all. Uh-oh. I don't even think I can. Okay, hold on. We're going back.
Are we back?
We are back.
All right. Okay. Now, what I was about to say before, I guess I must have got a little too close. It got a little too hot in here. They pulled the plug. I'm counting how many times they're going to do it. We over here running. I'm going to owe you $20, bro. Okay. It ain't even getting it. They're going to do it to us one more time. I know it's coming. So let me get back to this. So I wanted to say, listen, let me show you how you do the math. When they abolished slavery, or so-called abolished slavery, they said, well, there they go. I ain't gonna be talking about slavery today. Gonna be no slaves in this month.
You know what? Oh my God. I've never went through this before. When they abolished slavery, tell it.
When I start talking about this, they always pull the plug. This is where they pull the plug. I may not even get through this. I'm gonna try. When they abolished slavery, we were worth $3.6 billion. Okay? We were worth more than anything that they owned, even all their manufacturing. We were the most valuable. Your wealth was based on how many of us you owned. Remember that. That was only 4 million of us at the time, 4.5 million at the end of slavery. Today, there are 45 to 50 million of us that we can count. Now, if you do the math, that comes out to somewhere around $437 billion of property that's walking around that they can't do nothing with. And they got this mentality. You know what I'm talking about. You ever heard somebody say this? If I can't have you, nobody can't have you. That's why they're trying to kill your ass. That's why they don't want to pay for you to go home. They know if you go home, you're going to get your shit together and be back. But so they rather kill you in place. So all y'all that keep trooping on down the Parent Plan hood when they only have that shit in the black neighborhoods, all y'all that keep letting them put the little needle in your arm when you don't know what's in that shit, all y'all that keep eating them GMO foods and shit, and y'all don't know what that shit is doing to you, all y'all that's living by these 5G towers without realizing they now can shut your ass down, y'all don't know what's going on, all y'all that keep letting them stick a thing up your nose talking about they testing you for COVID-19, it is on the stick. They trying to kill you. That's why they in Africa right now trying to give vaccines out. This is all about extermination and genocide. Right. Y'all don't want to believe that they'll do that shit. Do you know how many races they've exterminated? Everybody like to see the Tasmanian devil. You know, he come on TV, the Tasmanian. That's really a joke in your face because the Tasmanians were exterminated. They were an African civilization that was exterminated. That lived off the coast of Africa. They killed all of them. They're all gone. And then they laughing in your face by making him a goddamn cartoon character that's spinning around and shit.
Deep.
They laughing in your face. So remember, $3.6 billion back then. That's this. Now keep that in mind. In Haiti, big shout out to all my Haitian brothers. I love to tell y'all a story. When the Haitians decided that they were done with the white people, the French people, they killed every black person that was impartial to the white folks. Oh, did you think you were going to tiptoe your ass into the kingdom? No, 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 no. So by the time they went to the white folks and say, we done with y'all, there was nobody back and talking about, let's talk about it. Let's hold hands. Let's just all get a shut the fuck, kill him. Okay, who left? Nobody? Good. Like I said, we not having this shit no more. So they got their freedom. Watch this. The French, I hate to use that term. The white people turned around, came back and said, we will invade the island again and re-enslave you unless you pay all of the plantation owners damages for the property that they lost. Let me make sure I got this right. I'm a slave. I got free, and I got to pay the motherfuckers that's enslaved me for. But
after review of that footage, Chief Shields and I have made the determination that 2 of the officers involved in the incident last night will be terminated immediately. The other 3 officers are right now on desk duty, pending further determination of what.
That backed by huge PR campaigns, leaving the entire world under the impression that Africa is poor and dying and merely surviving on the mercy of the West. Well done, Oxfam, UNICEF, Red Cross, Life Aid, and all the other organizations that continuously run multi-million-dollar advertisement campaigns depicting charity porn to sustain that image of Africa globally. Ad campaigns paid for by innocent people under the impression to help with their donations. While one hand gives under the flashing lights of cameras, the other takes in the shadows. We all know the dollar is worthless, while the euro is merely charged with German intellect and technology, and maybe some Italian pasta. How can one expect donations from nations that have so little? It's super sweet of you to come with your colored paper in exchange for our gold and diamonds. But instead, you should come empty-handed, filled with integrity and honor. We want to share with you our wealth and invite you to share with us. The perception is that a healthy and striving Africa would not disperse its resources as freely and cheaply, which is logical. Of course, it would instead sell its resources at world market prices. which in turn would destabilize and weaken Western economies established on the post-colonial free meal system. Last year, the IMF reports that 6 out of 10 of the world's fastest growing economies are in Africa, measured by their GDP growth. The French Treasury, for example, is receiving about $500 billion year in, year out. Foreign exchange reserves from African countries based on colonial debt they forced them to pay. Former French President Jacques Chirac stated in an interview recently that we have to be honest and acknowledge that a big part of the money in our banks comes precisely from the exploitation of the African continent. In 2008, he stated that without Africa, France will slide down in the rank of a third world power. This is what happens in the human world, the world we have created. Have you ever wondered how things work in nature? One would assume that in evolution the fittest survives. However, in nature, any species that is overhunting, overexploiting the resources they depend on as nourishment, natural selection would sooner or later take the predator out because it offsets the balance. Now that I shared my perspective with you, I would like to share my initiatives with you. As a Sierra Leonean, I'm a diamond expert. I find them in the rough. What nature created from the darkest substance under the influence of heat and pressure transforms into the strongest, most brilliant rocks. These rocks have the consistency to stem an entire nation. These will be our future leaders. Please meet the Fulancho Creative Collective I formed with 21 street kids that were orphaned and displaced as a result of the Sierra Leonean Civil War and ended up living in the street as early as age 3, growing up as outlaws of society.
I name Timothy, but my gangster name na Ephraim.
My name is Patrick Christian Kago.
My name is Alusanjano.
My name is Samosi. They call me DMX.
None shall escape the visions that I see. No soul saved. Best believe.
I lost my mother and father during the Civil War in Sierra Leone. I was brought up by my grandmother in the village.
At the age of 5 years of age. Yeah. So this time my had treat me, even put poison for me, and I chop for it.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen. This is not my story, not my life.
I would not the man who formed on base. Yes, I would not the first man who begin local on base. Stay other guys started the Kaisai on base. And on base is it now. The team, all man fearful of the team.
The visions that I
You get the hard way, you get the soft way. The soft way na for good thief. The hard way na for good tooth, not of course. The tooth for people or it will dirty for people.
If you're not strong on the streets, you go die before time. Or either you come out bad before time.
2001 when I come on the streets, I did do them bad, I thief, I job phone, I do them bad life. Till 2010,
on can shoot Malens.
From the street, he take me to school. He go put me in school. I dey live fine now. Then me own thing what I want to do in the future. I want to study law. I get that determination they always. So I want to become a lawyer. Me future than the.
Best believe my bread must break.
My future plan, see what I able to do for help me own family. Because I don't decide say I want to go to school, I want to be international businessman.
So me some of me company the way they live their wayward life there, I wish them back go change like me. For let them go they left them style here, and then they imagine say all them rough style here not fine for mortal man. Mortal man, I more possible for the reason and wish for better future in this world.